Всем здорово. hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark. No fear, getting ready for the ride. Yeah, stepping into the light. No limit, aim high. No limit, the price is mine.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator, listen to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone. 'Cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
ESL Mobile Challenge is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Mobile Challenge. We're starting at the proper time today. We're all leveling up. I'm Lee Deeman Smith. Joining me again is Ark and Lethal for what is going to be an explosive day of action. We're into play day 6 today, and things are getting exciting, guys. Ark, let's start with you. You obviously finished the show with Lethal yesterday. What a day of action once again. Amazing stuff from SK, Clash, and of course, obviously, you know, SK also played with Pedro for a little bit there as well.
Yeah, it was great to see Pedro give it a go, and honestly, he did really, really well, far better than I expected. Unfortunately, though, you know, for them, at least, you know, EXO did still take the win. It was a big, big day actually for EXO free agents for sure, and they are definitely reaping those rewards today.
Certainly are indeed, like we said before. You know, SK did manage to get that W on the board in the end, and Clash actually get a loss, which is not something you normally see every day. Seeding for them too don't really matter at this point. I said it twice earlier, yesterday in the play days, pretty much pick your poison, doesn't really matter, because sometimes a better team might actually turn up being fourth place anyway. So it's anybody's game in terms of the standings to get those last couple of qualifying spots.
Yeah, and as you pointed out, obviously, EXO free agents, they had a great day yesterday, taking down Big and SK Gaming, puts them back into third place with 5 wins, 4 losses. Big up there, of course, having a great performance. If you're wondering why Tribe are down there, that's because they had a default loss yesterday, or 2 default losses were given to them. Actually, you know, they forfeited themselves for the first 2 games, and that gives them, means they are issued a major penalty point, which equals a 10% deduction to the earned prize money. And they have confirmed that they will be continuing on for the rest of the season with KC. So KC going to be carried on. That's due to Drage. Obviously, I know there's a lot of community wanting Drage out there, but the fact is he was still 16 at the start of the ESL Mobile Challenge, so maybe we'll see him in the fall. Well, almost certainly we'll see him in the fall.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him, but ultimately, you know, that's the way it is. And, you know, Tribe are going to have to definitely look to rekindle some of those points that they lost as a result of that. Down at the bottom near Navi, but ultimately, you know, Navi have got still yet to get a win, and that's going to be a big separation between that 7th and 8th place. And, yeah, looking forward to seeing them today, you know, pull something out of the bag, because, yeah, they really would like to end at least with some, you know, modesty if they don't make it into that top 4.
Yeah, we have to be pretty straightforward as well. Na'Vi pretty much got no chance at this point, but Tribe Gaming definitely do, and we're going to start off with against Reply Totem. And Tribe are not going to have any internal struggles or anything like that. They're still very good friends, even if Casey's still on board. It's not going to affect him anyway in the slightest. They have to go through the usual strategies which they've been going through over the last few months whilst they were a team. So seeing Totem up twice today to see what happens against Tribe and EXO, some spicy ones.
Absolutely. It's obviously the double header for Reply Totem, who have started to step it up. You know, they had a really close game against Na'Vi yesterday, one that they'll be happy they won. Of course, did get smashed by Clash later on after that. And speaking of Clash, it is a big one for them again. EXO free agents on a bit of a tear after 2 wins yesterday. We'll see how they do in their double header. It is just one game for Clash today, and then we go into the double big games, Noble Elite and SK Gaming. SK Gaming going straight into Na'Vi after that. Na'Vi, as you say, bit of a torrid time for them. They lost yet again 3-2 yesterday, so they're 0-8. They are ending out the day with Noble Elite, where they may look at that as an opportunity to pick up a win, Hark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, they had default loss yesterday, default win, sorry, ASD to Tribe. So we're getting some points from the back of that. Definitely have shown some promise recently, actually, Noble Elite, sort of coming up a little bit, you know, experimenting with the meta and some really outrageous brawler choices, which always get me tickling inside. Hopefully we'll see some more of that from them today, and hopefully we'll see it, you know, work for them, because I do like to see some unusual choices work. But maybe now they've done it so much that people are starting to, you know, be tuned into that, and that could go against them as well. So I'm kind of curious to see what their strategy is going into today's games.
And I said it as well with Na'Vi, like, you know, their win percentage doesn't reflect how they've actually been performing. Like, even yesterday's playday, they were still a lot better than they were previously and past 4 playdays. So it's a little bit of a shame, but all they're going to do now is play for pride and maybe ruin some teams' days to stop them from qualifying later on.
Well, anyway, we're going to move on. Let's get the games on your screens. Hopefully, Harry is going to be back and join us for the Reply Tournament EXO Free Agents game. But for now, we will say goodbye to Harry. See you soon, mate. See you soon.
See you later.
So, Ark, let's talk about what we have coming up. Starting out in the first game, as we mentioned, it is a back-to-back game for Reply Totem, who, in all honesty, had a pretty good day yesterday. They took down Na'Vi. Yes, they lost a Clash, but let's face it, I think they were probably expecting that one. And honestly, it's a team that I feel has been elevating over the last few weeks.
Yeah, genuinely have been doing so well, and you know, I've always said Totem sometimes they're a little bit, you know, every now and again overcommitting on their aggressiveness, but that is something which they do really well. So Depress and Maori and Maru all going to be performing today, and yeah, I'm really looking to see how they fare. You know, going back to, you know, how these two teams clashed the last time we witnessed, it was Reply Totem who came out on top, so they're going to want to have a repeat of that today.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, their opposition today is going to be Tribe Gaming. They have got here. They're not going to be defaulting today. They will be playing. So that's once again Tom, Spen, and KC. The originals continuing on throughout the rest of the season. We'll see how far they can get after their, obviously, 2 forfeits yesterday. Of course, that does put them at the moment on 3-0-6. And you know, as we talked about, you know, 2 wins today, they're almost in 3rd place. You know, that's where EXO free agents are. So it's like way doable. That's a really bad English there. But anyway, easily doable is what I'm referring to, because all they need to do to reach the finals is be in the top 4. So absolutely possible still.
Yeah, there's really still a very close degree of separation in that middle part of the leaderboard. So, you know, if they can just be consistent themselves and maybe with a little bit of luck, hope for some downfalls of other teams above them to sort of bring them below them, that would go their way in that respect. But yeah, I think they've got what it takes. It's going to have to be definitely something they're going to have to think through a lot in terms of their choices. We've seen a couple of ideas from them recently, which I'm not too sure about myself, but ultimately at the same time, if it works, it works. I want to see some good bans and some good comps going into our maps.
Yeah, we just went in for the picks and bans. The bands to come through. That's a game of the past kicking into it in my brain there. Just wait for the bands to come through, and we'll get the maps on the screen for you. I can see the bands already there, so it should be on the screen any second now. But yeah, Casey obviously is playing once again today. Is playing on his phone incoming sweep. There we go, Spen. Thank you very much. That's it. That's the information right there. I guess used to playing on an iPad or an Android tablet. I don't know, but I always play on my phone. I don't know about you.
No, I can't do that. I was actually one of the first really big tablet advocates actually way back in the day, and it seems to have caught on quite a lot since. But I know Casey's been moving house as well, so he's definitely had a lot going on in his life. But here are the bans. So from Reply Totem, they're going to be El Primo and Bell. The tribe is going to be Gene and Taro. I mean, I'm surprised to see tribe banning their own.
Ban.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tom can't play Tara anyway. We all know that. But the Gene ban is definitely going to be something which I think was a good ban to have, but one which they would definitely have liked to have played, as we know that Tribe can do wondrous things with that magic hand.
Yeah, we're going on to Double Swoosh to start things off. Kabim Canyon, Backyard Ball, Julian Beetles, and Bot Drop. All the maps we've seen many times so far throughout this season. So we'll see how this one's going to play out today. Very interested to see how that's going to affect things. Obviously, with the Gene being taken away, I expect to see the Stew starting things off with Double Swoosh, probably looking at as the gem carrier. Possible bruisers, who knows? Poco is still available with Primo banned out there. I gotta be honest. I'm starting to get to the opinion that I don't think Primo is ban-worthy anymore. Because I think the knee-jerk reaction that happened throughout, and yes, I understand can be strong at times, but let's face it, the times we've seen Primo not working, I would say are more than the times we've seen it doing well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those picks where it's just a threat more than anything. It's like, you know, being able to close the gap, and also in the back of players' minds now, they're thinking we can go for the takedown on this brawler, but at the same time, midway through that interaction, he might get super and then jump us, and then there's no real telling as to when that time could occur. So I think it's that unpredictability of that brawler now, since you will recoup your super as you take damage. I think it's that more than anything else which players kind of want to eradicate from the mix, and it can be a real threat when you never know when something could be coming your way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking of like a more impactful brawlers that we've had throughout. It's, let me think. Obviously, Bell almost always banned these days as well. Poco, by the way, still available. Haven't seen too much of Poco yesterday, despite the fact that, if I were to look back, I think really didn't have too many bans. I think just 2 games. Yeah, two games was banned, and they both EXO free agents games. They banned it out still, but still certainly out there. I think the more impactful brawlers we've had, I think Stew's definitely been more impactful over the last sort of few days. Certainly since the patch came through, I think everyone's adapted back to it, and Stew's very much back on the driving seat.
Definitely, for sure. I think that, it was funny yesterday, we saw like none of Poco, then towards the end of the day it was kind of being banned, and but we hadn't seen it prior to that anyway. But definitely still on the cards. I'm not sure we'll see it in Double Swoosh, but definitely something that teams will have to keep a firm eye on, as it can really help everyone stay in the mix. Going into Double Swoosh, I would say that without Tara here, it's gonna be an interesting one actually. I think Amber's probably going to be the go-to. Possibly M's also,
probably, yeah.
But yeah, Gene and Tara here are 2 big players that are going to be out of Double Swoosh. So we saw some good effective plays with Sandy yesterday as a kind of mid instead of the Gene as well, I think. And various other brawlers could be at play here. We might even see some Rosa have a little bit of an opportunity to shine. But the big brawlers here that are banned for Double Swoosh really for me are Tara and Gene, and they're pretty much the go-tos for the most stable comps. So definitely could be a chance for both of these 2 teams to experiment in that respect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you say, the Sandy's definitely started to come back into it once again. We're almost back to the play-ins, right? When the play-ins were happening, it was Gene, Tara, and I don't know, probably Max actually most of the time, I would say. Was pretty much predominantly back then. We have started to see more and more. We started to see Lou coming through, obviously, a fair amount. Yesterday we actually had Gale as well come out. That was SK that brought Gale out, right? So starting to bring a couple of those different choice picks out. Obviously lots of Crow these days as well starting to come through. Do we feel everyone's kind of settled in the metas now? I mean, we're 2 weeks on. The meta's kind of like settled back down. The knee-jerk reactions of the panic mode of this brawler will never ever be played once again. That's all gone out the window, and everyone's kind of back to normal.
Yeah, and Crush is one that I hadn't thought of, and that could well be an option here as well. I think that's definitely going to be serving to provide a good purpose, being able to see people in the bush is ideally what you want in Double Swoosh. So definitely, Crow could be up there. I think Surge, even, we know what Casey loves to do with that particular brawler, and is a bit of a go-to for Tribe. So there's definitely a lot of options. I think this is a quite interesting band actually, having Gene and Tara out of play here. as they, do thrive in a lot of gamers right now. They're very versatile brawlers. So Bell, is pretty much banned in every game, and I can see why it's a great to have that range to your space. We are going to see the Sandy mid. We're going to see PSG Mike from Spen as gem carrier and Penny. I think Tribe are having fun today.
Wow, okay, Maru just going around the back and absolutely dominated. That was some pretty impressive stuff for Maru on the Stu there. Actually thought Stu would be the gem carrier, but no.
Yeah, it's good to be able to go on the aggressive thing with Stu, but it can sometimes work in that respect. Spen, she gets to get a takedown there, surprisingly so, running the fidget spinner gadget. I would expect nothing less going with PSG Mike on double swoosh. But yeah, absolutely, as a result of those brawler choices, I think that Tribe definitely on the back foot going into this matchup. Totem to be quite in control, and yeah, I don't think that Tribe are taking this particularly seriously right now. No, I'm not sure. You know what the irony is, right? The irony is that when you sometimes do that and you just sort of go, you know what, let's just have fun with it, sometimes you actually do really well because the pressure's completely off, everything's gone, you just go for it. But it does look like Reply Totem are going to be taking this first game. They're going to be collecting the 10 gems, and we'll see how they hang on. And just to verify as well, TBEKC2 is KC. It's just a name change. TBE being the best ever. But right now, not necessarily the case, as Totem are going to be getting a nice countdown and no chance of trying to be able to take that one back. So Totem will take the first game.
So, I think we're in for some interesting games from Tribe today.
I mean, I did say there's a lot of brawlers to choose from, but yeah, those were not on my list, I'll be honest. But, attention to detail, PSG Mike's skin, is very much the go-to to combine with Dynamite. But we've seen some experimentation with Penny also, which has worked out from time to time. But yeah, I don't think that was the intention of Tribe going in with that particular pick.
No. I think Totem will be happy, though, because this is giving them a great chance, of course, going forward. They're currently sitting in a great position in the table, so a real chance for them to continue to extend that. Currently sitting fifth, they're going to be closing in on big and EXO free agents if they can pick up the win today, so they'll be very happy with how things are going. We'll see, of course. Right now, I've been talking about what brawlers they'll be bringing out, but I've got to be honest, I think it's anyone's guess. Like, Mr. P could be making an appearance in a second.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, it could be pretty much anything. I wouldn't be surprised if it's PSG Shelly, actually. That could definitely be on the Tribecast today. I think that Totem winning with a good comp, though. I think that, Sandy with the mid and Ems and Stu for the aggression, I don't think they're going to deviate too much away from that. Not that they really necessarily need to worry about that, but you never know. Tribe might come out with something a bit more, traditional in the next game. Maybe they're just trying to give Reply Totem a little bit of a, a feeling of, in control, and then come out with some aggression of their own. Who knows? But yeah, one thing's for sure. I think that we might see some surprises from Tribe.
Let's see what we got. We've got Penny coming out now, okay, with the M's in there. There is a Mortis, there is a Poco, and there is a Penny.
Okay.
A Penny? Peter Piper, sorry.
Yeah, Piper, yeah. I mean, yeah, Mortis here can work. Poco is interesting. Piper as well. I'm not too sure on the Tribe comp here, but it is looking a little bit better. Spen can obviously focus on Maru there and does so very successfully. Now on to Maori, who's going to sleep stim to stay in the mix. So that makes Spen hesitant then to go for the swipe, and rightly so. Pick up there onto Tom, forcing him back. And Totem now with mid-control.
Yeah, Soy are coming back in. We'll just clear them out. And that is going to be a full wipe. All the gems control very much in Reply Totem's favor. Spen's going to dive in and die instantly. So that didn't work out there. Mario misses his shot onto Tom there. And now Soy is just going to keep them at bay. Not too sure what exactly the Poco is bringing to the table in this one, but I think they're all having fun.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. But also, winning is a good way to look at it as well. But Spen gets a takedown. And the help from KC going in. Maori is forced into the corner there. Follow up from Tom as well. We'll drop the gems. Won't go into the pocket a try, but definitely showing some fight now at the moment. Gems going down as Tom does falter. Let's see Spen here cycling pretty well. Actually, you're going to have one gem in the hill from KC as well. Really clutch. Picks up another gem and try for one away from countdown.
Absolute clutch heel coming in there. That's going to be the gems. And they have it. Spen just sitting there spin to win. And now can they hold into this one? The irony is coming in with a bit of a troll comp may well pay off here. Mario's going to try and come through. That will force away the cover with 2 seconds to go. And they will take themselves the game. Tying up the set 1-1.
Well, it was a different kind of comp, but they were playing it seriously, and that's the most important thing there. Gave them the win, and I have no idea whether we're going to see that comp or going, reversing back to something else. But the plays were there. The heals were there, very importantly so from Casey. I was surprised to see the poker on double swoosh, but it did work out with the combination of the Mortis, and Tom was able to use that range so well, and spin to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Spen pulling it off somehow with the clutch heel from KC, making it work out. So now the question is, will we see something similar once again? Will we see a massive change around? I expect we're probably going to see a massive change around here. Something that Tribe should be aware of is there is a sporting behavior rule within the ESL rules that applies across all ESL games, and esports is you have to take it seriously, or you can forget about that prize money.
Yeah, that's a worthy point for sure. I think if you reply Totem, going with some tankiness might actually be beneficial here, especially if they're going to go in close range with Mortises and brawlers like Dynamite that are going to really struggle to hit a lot of shots under pressure. At the moment, reply Totem are probably kind of like thinking like, what are we going in with, guys? what are we going to pick? Because at the moment, Tribe being very unpredictable to say the least, and that's something they've got to consider.
Yeah, I expect to see the Stew back. I've got to be honest. I think they need a bit of speed to get away from that. I don't expect to see the Pipers. We'll see what they change around. Let's have a look. It's getting on your screens. Here we go. So the Stew will be back with the Amber and the Rosa for Tribe. It is going to be Frank, Mortis, and... Okay, so they've gone almost full Bruiser to try and charge him down. We'll see at the moment whether Casey can get close enough.
This is what I was thinking, having a tank of their own was actually quite a smart call from Soydabrazer, and one that I think is actually going to work out pretty well here, and focusing on Spen would be the ideal person to focus on. Ultimately, they've got to be very cautious. Tom going with an early smash was really smart considering how low he was in HP, and Casey now is going to be able to use that Stomper gadget there so nicely there, get that takedown. It's kind of interesting territory now because Totem can't really predict what Tribe are going to be coming in with, and triple tank here is actually double tank and Mortis could be quite an aggressive idea if not shut down well. But the Totem, to be fair, seem to be holding their own quite well for the most part for the moment.
It's actually a comp that you would quite easily see Fnatic. Oh, I'm pulling that one from SK and Clash coming into this with. It's totally possible that they could. Maybe we'll see Fnatic join in the Brawl style universe at some point, but at the moment it is going to be Maori once again on that Stew holding the gems. He's just going to back away, so aggressive with one himself, who is pretty low, but that's going to put pate to any attack they have, as Tom will go down and Reply Totem will take the first set.
Actually, so I think they thought that through well. Going with Rosa and the Stew like you recommended also was a really, really good shout. And they could just keep dashing around, and with all those HP to sort of kindle away at, it just meant that Maori was able to really utilize the map and just be going super on the aggressive whilst healing along the way. So I really like the choices from there from Totem. I think they were pretty smart in the circumstances. Yeah,
and they answered the call well. They kind of recognized what was likely to come out there. Frustrating, I know, certainly as an Amber with a Mortis on your head. Definitely hard to do something about that, but yeah, it didn't work out for them this time around. So we're moving on to the next set. That will be going over to Kaboom Canyon, the heist map. So obviously looking towards the likes of Piper. Bell, of course, is banned out there. We saw some very successful Nanny yesterday, actually, on heist as well.
Yeah, that was SK bringing out the Nanny pick, and it works very, very well in terms of just bringing back the attention of exit free agents at the time, and they were able to win that set, I believe, as a result of those choices. We also saw Pedrick using Sprout here, which is kind of interesting to see. But I don't know, it's not really the go-to, but it kind of worked on the situation because obviously Jetson had the timeout with his internet, and then Pedrick came in, so I mean, the roles had to kind of be considered a little bit more so to allow Semantic and Skarx to go the aggressive there. I think for me, I think Crow be a go-to pick, one that we've seen work out time and time again on Kaboom Canyon. Whereas like, Colette as well as Byron here are not banned as well. So definitely some options. We saw a little bit of 8-bit, but at the same time, not my go-to, but one that is starting to come back a little bit on some maps. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we did see something like that. But at the same time, I think that you can't really go wrong with Byron, Colette, and a Crow. But you can support the Byron for other things as well. But without Bell here, yeah, that's going to be the main brawler ban, as well as the Primo, I guess, in the situation to consider here. I don't think really Jean and Tara would have come necessarily into this particular game, but at the moment, I mean, who's to tell?
Well, who knows? Indeed, we'll see how this one's going to go. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. I'm very interested to see what sort of picks we get once again for Tribe, as they do appear to be having a little bit of fun with this one to close out the season. Just a couple of play days remaining, of course. And hopefully we'll get that on your screens in just a second. But at the moment, well, there we go. I was just about to get something else, but the game is about to start. So let's get it on your screens and see that. So it is going to be the Colette B and Crow for Tribe. And oh my, okay, all right. Dynamite is back.
Yeah, I mean, actually, this can work out well. I mean, those walls can be utilized as well. It's been hitting some shots, and we just spin a gadget there just to kind of get some area denial. For me, B here, though, is a really, really solid choice. I was going to mention B or Piper could be also used if you want to vary it up a little bit, but I think the reply totem comp is the smartest one for me. B and Colette can have that range at their disposal. Tom is going to go in with Tick, and the nice part of the last hurrah, as a result of that balance change recently, will not take 100% of the damage, and he did see the nasty side of that amplified shot from Mari.
Well, Spen getting the spam out. Mari's doing what he can to get out of the way. In the end, it will be the Tick Tom that works out well there. And now Soy DeBresta trying to get around the back there. That's not going to happen. Didn't manage to get the damage down. So B is going to get focused as well. And, you know, Troll setup or not, this is actually working out pretty well for Tribe here as they go looking for the push, try and get towards the safe and try and do a little bit of damage.
I mean, experimenting the meta, not necessarily a bad thing. We saw a little bit of that yesterday, to be fair, with Penny, but this is definitely on a different level to that. Dynamite, I can't remember the last time I saw here, but it is an underrated brawler. I actually really do quite like playing with Dynamite at the moment. Tribe are in a good spot to be able to get a fair amount of damage if they want to commit to this, but on the other side of things, I think that there is someone from Reply Totem on the safe. I think Soy DeBreza causing some havoc there. Yep, there he is, there he goes. 59% dealt. For 53% remaining for Reply Totem. Definitely Tom, he might have lagged out there as well. They got takedowns, but they're still behind in terms of the points. Tribe are going to have to bring this one back pretty quick.
Absolutely. This is looking good for Reply Totem, but we'll see. The aggression's coming out here. Tribe are going for it. They're throwing the kitchen sink at the safe, and they're almost going to get it. But meanwhile, you can see Totem are doing the same on the north side of the map. And that's going to be it was Maru around the back there. They just went in for it to all be over. So DeBreza comes in and Reply Totem pick up the first game of the second set.
Yeah, they did concede a lot of damage in the process, but at the time that it was happening, there was already someone from Reply Totem on the safe dealing enough damage to compensate. So I think they've got to be a little bit cautious because I feel like, you know, with a good team wipe, this could actually do a fair amount of damage. They're still keeping with the Colette, and you know, Dynamite can just kind of hide away behind the walls as well as a Tick, but were able to make what they had work. I think they had by far the better comp. Brawlers like B can do so much with the range that they have to really take down a lot of those throwers. So unless Tribe can get mid-control and kind of assert their authority like that, then that could be something to consider. At the moment, for me, Reply Totem are just going with the more traditional, more meta-based comps, and that's much the reason why they're on top.
Yeah, we'll see whether they stay in meta or decide to drift away from the meta a little bit more. Once again, just to remind you guys of the bans, obviously was Primo, kind of a standard ban these days. Amber was banned out. No, looking at the wrong one. Bell was banned out.
That's it, yeah.
Jean and Tara. I was like, for a minute, I was like, wait, Amber was just played. I was like, hang on a minute. Yeah, El Primo, Bell, Jean, and Tara banned out. So obviously they're the ones that are not available. Didn't get any Piper in that one. I expect to see maybe a Piper exchange coming out here. No. Oh no,
Mari, actually.
Mari hidden underneath.
Yeah. I mean, Piper here can work really, really well, but spraying out Mortis is actually going to be a big deterrent of that. He missed a bit of a dash there. I think he hit the wall. But still, that will be something to consider for Reply Totem's side. It's not a bad shout from Spen actually to go in that. Probably never see it happen. But this map does case the Piper a fair bit. So one that is actually going to work out well for Tribe here, but they all are very, very low. Casey and Tom are having to be very, very cautious of their HP right now. They're going to struggle on the defensive side with the Mortis, however, and that's going to allow Totem to be able to get a lot of shots on that save.
Yeah, Maori and Maori doing work once again here. Maori just avoiding the damage, mitigating it. Tom with the Colt trying to work out, but Spen's going in. He's on the Maori. I don't think he's got the super to get away from this one. Will be able to pop it. Gets around the back there. Gets the damage down, but it's Maori and Soydebressa that are getting the damage done. And this will be them picking themselves up the match. And it will be 2-0 in sets.
Very nicely done. Haven't seen Daryl for a while. It's nice to see him making an appearance, and one that I think can work out pretty well. Just struggles a little bit with B being such a prominent brawler in the meta right now, but Totem were able to just really establish their control and maintain it, and most importantly as well. I think the range as well of Maori was going to always do pretty well as long as they stayed away from that Mortis pick, and you saw it absolutely wrecking the safe and getting a ton of value. And yeah, I think that Reply Totem are doing pretty well because a lot of these actually ideas can counter some of them, so they're having to still remain on their toes enough to make sure that they don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going on to Backyard Bowl next. So into the Brawl Ball meta. This is actually something Tribe have done generally very well on. But honestly, I don't know what the heck they're going to bring out here. This is their one and only game of the day. They're definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely taking the opportunity to try out some new ideas, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if they're going to go in with something, I mean, I would probably predict triple tank. Just simply because it can be quite threatening when you're just kind of advancing and all three of you are committing to that advance. At the same time, Spendy seems to be quite attached to his Mortars and his Dynamites at the moment, and I kind of feel like he might bring out them as well. Poco, again, could be another option for both teams, really. I mean, this is a much more open space map, so I would be surprised in the event of seeing tanks on both sides here if Totem want to go that way. Also, range, you know, being a big factor here would cater a lot to brawlers like D, as we've already seen today, a little bit of. Byron used to have a little bit of a place in Backyard Bowl. Now, not really necessarily so much. We did see a bit of 8-bit being played yesterday by exit free agents, and I kind of feel like that might be coming back and creeping in just a little bit. That same old strategy that we used to see so frequently of throwing the damage booster across the barrier and then cheek arching gadget through and TPing towards the goal. Used to be such a great mechanic to watch, and I quite like to see that again today. It's something that I kind of miss in the current meta. Definitely options either way you look at it. Tara, Jean, you know, would have been options here as well, but the bans as well as the El Primo and Bell, we're not going to see those. But still, plenty of ideas and brawlers available for these teams.
Well, it is going to be once again Spen on the Mortis. We're going to see the bow in there as well as the Max. And, well, this is okay. We've got a double bow. Fair enough. Didn't expect that one on Backyard Bowl.
Well, it's a weird one, I gotta say, but at the same time, the Super Totem has received a recent nerf, so that will eradicate some of that. Soydebressa going in with a stop gadget. That one is all over. 28 seconds, and a very dominant play there from Totem, just wanting to wrap this one up quick.
Yeah, looking like they're going for the quick 3-0 here, and I think they may well get it, just judging by the way that one went. So, Spen's apparently been putting time in on Mortis. Maybe a little bit more required. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we were playing a bit of basketball the other day, and he was trying it out on there, and it's definitely one that he likes, but one that he doesn't often play. I think that the comp wasn't necessarily actually anything too radical in that respect.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just the bow was a bit of the odd choice for me really there. If they swapped that out for something else, would have been better. But yeah, Totem are looking very, very at home with their tanky ideas with BB and Bull. I think Bull is a great underrated brawler actually at the moment, especially since the introduction of that Stomper gadget. You can do a ton of work with it, and as long as you've got the ability to close the gap, it can work out well. Tom going to bring out PSG Shelly, Spen going to bring out PSG Mike, and Maori actually is going to bring in Shelly as well in this instance. Maori wants to break but can't. Once he gets his super, he'll be able to open up some opportunities there on the goal side, but try with a good defense and trying to push up the ball now.
Well, let's see how it works out, because as irony as it is, this comp could actually work out pretty well against this one. There's the wall breaker coming through, but the ball was cleared back. KC will pass it to Spen, looking to try and get it through. He's actually going to try and walk it in. Not going to happen. Tried to get it through the line, didn't want it out. And the Reply Totem, well, one behind them, they don't care. They can just the pass move. Just try and get it through. The wall break comes in, and Maru scores.
Nice synergy there as well. I mean, it's a simple play to make, but ultimately one that you've got to make sure that you are in communication for to get the timing just right. And looks like Totem are looking to wrap this up even faster. Soy is just absolutely dancing around. Tom gets the super as well. Should find a shot.
No,
Misses. Hits the left-hand side post. Disaster for Totem, but the scoreline's still very much in their favor.
Yeah, they're going to get back up. The spawn's coming back through, but yeah, completely whiffing that shot. That gives Spen the ball once again, and he takes Mari down as well. And yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Everybody makes a small mistake this time. I don't think it's going to cost them too dearly. They're looking to try and wrap this one up 3-0. Match point currently at the moment, but you can see Tom pushing forward on that Shelly onto Soyda and trying to chase him down. Will get the kill for kill in the end. Maru's going to come around the side. KC now left alone. Can't do anything with that ball. Slowed down. And that is going to be Totem on the attack.
So Brett's got super here as well. That'll be a key person to get the ball to. Ideally, Mario going to have to force himself back just a little bit here to allow that range to really come into play. Soy looking to get just one shot is all it will take to get that super. And there it is. He's going to try and go in. Actually on Spen, not the ball there, and doing a wondrous job of taking down in the end by KC. And now it's down to Mari. Can he get the ball in time? Either way, the score stays the same. Then Totem will take it. They are a match point. They will win this series. And I don't think there's going to be enough time for Spen to be able to return this.
No, he's going to try it down the field. Not going to happen. Murray and Soydebress are there to watch him, and it will be Reply Totem taking the series 3-0 in what was a very interesting game. I think that's the best I can say about that.
Yeah, interesting, experimental, and unexpected. I think are the 3 words that I would use to describe that. But yeah, Totem now going to be in a very good headspace for sure. As we pointed out as well, their points on the leaderboards are looking in a really, really good spot, and adding that win to the mix is definitely going to close the gap between themselves and Big, and they're only just shallowing outside of that top 4. So this could be a good day for them.
Yeah, Reply Totem will happily take the win and the W there, so they're going to be going into 5-5. So great start for them. That equals about a 20-20 in terms of sets as well. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, the next match will be ready to go. That will be Reply Totem up against EXO Free Agents. See you in a few.
So we'll talk a little bit more about the ESL Mobile Open, because you just made it into the play-ins. You only just did it. You guys came 9th, but now you're here and you've made it through the play-ins and you're out the other side, and the challenge season is in, reaching distance. So how does that feel?
I mean, as we told the last time, we were at the 12-2 situation and we were actually top 5, I think. But then we had some connection issues for one of our players, so we couldn't play the whole week. And yeah, in one way we were lucky to get in, but then coming into it 9th place, we didn't destroy them, but we won versus number 1 seed FA Trio, and then we won quite easily in the semifinals. So I think we proved we deserve to be there, and anyway or the other way, we were gonna have to face the top teams. We faced them in the first round, we beat them, and we're in.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it, when you're at the mercy of technology sometimes. So sometimes when it doesn't work, we're still happy to have you, though, through the play-ins and now into the challenge season. But also, I have to mention your dominating performance against FA Trio in your first match as well. And they've been obviously performing extremely well. So did that give you an extra confidence boost coming into the challenge season?
Yeah, for sure. They are always a tough opponent for us. I think they were the last match we lost in the open ladder too, so it was quite nice facing them again. And let's see how it goes now.
Well, which team are you most excited to face in the challenge season now?
Well, for sure SK, because they're the only team we never beat, so let's hope this is the first time we do.
And what are your expectations for the tournament for Reply Totem? I mean, do you think that you can go the whole way?
Yes, for sure. In the last couple of months, we've been placing top 3, top 4 in almost all the tournaments we're playing in. So I have high expectations and we'll give our best.
Good. I love that kind of confidence as well. So finally, just to wrap it all up, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans who have been supporting you throughout this entire journey and now into the challenge season?
Well, thanks for the support as always, and let's keep rolling, guys. Go Totem.
Love it. Thank you so much and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
ESL Mobile Challenge is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. ESL Mobile Challenge, $45,000 on the line. But you've got to be in that top 4 teams to get there. Right now, Reply Totem are a team that are absolutely chasing it, Harry, after the win there over Tribe.
Yeah, very convincing to say the least. I'm going to be pretty happy with that result, just in case it does come to sets overall. So we'll find out on the circumstances at a later date. But yeah, EXO between these two, like these are definitely one of their rivals to try and qualify into the top 4 to make it to the challenge finals. You can see it there, Brazer, Mori and Maru. Some very, very good players to really make a tight-knit team, which is trying to cause some havoc here and there, and they have done really. They've really taken SK Gaming and AC Milan's clash to the wire in a few of their bouts in this league and some other tournaments as well. So they're still looking very, very strong, very impressed by their recent performance, and like to see what more they can do later on.
Yeah, they also had a very close game with Na'Vi yesterday, one that they will not want to remember. But of course, their opponents are coming in hot here. It is EXO free agents off the back of 2 strong wins yesterday, taking down SK Gaming 3-2 and then 3-0 sweeping big. A massive performance for them yesterday.
Certainly is indeed. He needs to have a word with his teammates, see where the pitches are as well. Don't get me wrong, Kirsty's looking beautiful, very hench indeed, and definitely one of the game changers in-game as well as off the server as well. But EXO, I've been very, very impressed. Like, you normally see EXO and Reply Totem kind of in that top 4 kind of area in the competitive Brawl Stars scene overall. And I'm just going to see the current standings at the moment, because I'm just curious to see exactly where they currently are in terms of the updates. So Reply Totem are 5th and EXO are 3rd, but the only thing is though, with Reply Totem actually back in that last W, but not really too far apart. So if Reply Totem actually win this, they could completely change the standings overall.
Absolutely. Obviously, in terms of standings, it's 5-0-4 for EXO Free Agents right now. Reply Totem will be on 5-0-5 now as well. So, yeah, they could be on 6 wins if they were to take down Free Agents, and it would stick them up into 3rd place. It would be a massive move for them, no doubt about it. We're talking about the top 4 that have to go through. Here are the bans coming through, as well as obviously the map starting out dry season split, hot potato, some assembly required, and sneaky fields. As you can see, it is Bell, Primo, Poco, and Bell. The double ban, obviously blind bans, which is why you see them twice.
Yeah, normality is it's been restored, D-Man. I feel like, Bell, Primo, and Poco, these are the bands you would normally expect, considering what the game modes and maps will be competing on here today. And yeah, we did see some weird stuff yesterday, some odd picks, but I think it was more, very strong counter picks just towards that team in particular due to the amount of research they've done, or again, could be something we're quite weak on. But you see normally SK and Clash with those very in-depth bans as to why they're doing it and the reasons behind it. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons behind it, which of course there is. But yeah, Bell, Primo, and Pogo, yeah, completely understandable. And this is a must win for Totem, because they don't want the fate to be in EXO's hands where they have to rely on them to take the L against one of the other squads at a later playday.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I could do the bans for EXO Free Agents for them. They've done the exact same bans, Bell and Primo, since Playday 2. Playday 1, if you remember, was obviously pre-patch. They banned out Stu Poco instead. But outside of that, they've basically... Oh, to lie, there was a Poco Barley against Tribe as well. But outside of that, it's been Bell and Primo. All of the other playdays. So it's the standard bans for EXO Free Agents. So whatever they obviously don't like about them that work against their comps, they just don't want any of it, that's for sure. So expect, I mean, you know what, I may just fill out the next box against Clash and just do the same. And actually, I could probably do the same for Clash as well, because Clash tend to ban the same brawlers every time as well. But anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the game on our screens here. We're going to be starting out, it will of course be dry season bounty. I'm not going to read too much into Reply Totem's game that they did just have. But obviously going into a bounty game, it's probably going to be the standard Nanny, a Piper, maybe a Gene in there, because Gene's obviously not banned now, so like he was in the first game. So probably expect to see the standard brawler come.
Yeah, I always see a tick on either side as well, just to create those stalemates, and we're just like looking at our watches thinking, waiting for the last 30 seconds to appear for the final engagement. We do see it time and time again, but it depends how aggressive you are. It's very, very difficult to get any kind of hold of your opponents with that huge amount of damage to push on up, because the tick doesn't give you the aggression you need, but it does put them on the defensive at the same time. So it works wonders in some ways, but it can be a little bit of a pain in the backside at times, depending on the circumstances. But yeah, you are right into those picks. Like, may see a Nanny as well, may see a Piper, because Bell isn't there due to the fact that with the how versatile Bell is, that's why you normally see a Piper straight afterwards, and that's why Bell's also banned 9 times out of 10 nowadays. And we'll probably see a lot more Bell bans as, like I said earlier, the normality slowly restoring itself here as we push on now, and now the meta's becoming more established at a later date as well. Absolutely. We're starting to see Max back in the metas. Stu's become, I think, the standard to replace Max. I think basically is basically all that's happened. Obviously as the patch balances itself out and people's knee-jerk reactions to changes suddenly realize actually, it's not that bad, it's not the end of the world. Obviously the big shout was that the reload, the fact starting without bullets was starting without ammo, I should say, was the big change. That everyone was like, this is the end of the world. Everything, the sky is falling. But then everyone's like, it doesn't really matter actually that much. It hasn't affected us too much. Yes, I guess if you get spawn camp, that's a big problem. But let's face it, these teams are not at that level. It's not going to happen. So we're just waiting for them to get themselves ready to go. Don't worry, that's why you're looking at our beautiful faces and not the game on your screens. As soon as it's ready, we'll get it on there. Don't worry, we're not just talking for the sake of it. And speaking of which, here it is. We are going to get straight into this one. Like we said before, we feel like Totem is a must-win for them because they don't want their fate to be in someone else's hands towards the last couple of play days next week. That's the last thing they would like here. But a good start for them in that first innings against Triumph. They want to try and continue with that momentum swing. And you can see in terms of the picks where Riley said about the tick early on, but Brazier have been very aggressive with that as Bentley's actually gone all the way back in from that left lane. Doesn't want to take any more damage because one more tick would actually take him down. Doesn't want to give him that kind of early advantage. But speaking of advantages though, Totem does have that blue star.
Yep, so the mirror match in there, obviously with the Gene Ruffs and Tick, seems to be working relatively well. The single blue star that was picked up by Mari, looking for that big moment. Oh, the pull came in and all he got was a sandbag. That's not what you want to be looking for, that's for sure. As Whitey starts to force him back.
Certainly does.
Oh,
Indeed, and Brazier does get taken down. That was a great pull. Yeah, indeed. So that will give EXO that advantage once more. 1 minute left remaining, so we can see Totem on the aggressive. Depends on how aggressive they want to be at what time, but Mario is on the front line. EXO are looking very good leading up to the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is where it's all going to happen. They've got to go for it here. The pulls have been working out well. Sun Bentley stepping in for Yoshi and has done really well yesterday, and we're seeing it once again here after a 2-0 yesterday. They're definitely feeling confident. EXO free agents on the charge. They're a team that a lot of people expected to be at least in that top 3, and it does look like it may well happen today. Let's see. 8-1. They're going to get pressured. They're going to get pushed, but they're just instead going to turn the kills in their favor. One will go down, but it's not enough. 10-5. The first game goes to EXO free agents.
Very standard game of Bounty, what we expected as well. A little bit more back and forth, which is what we like to see, not just, complete stalemates for the couple of minutes we have to witness between both teams. And it was nice, really, because you can see Maru, he loves to, I wouldn't say, I think overextend is probably the wrong phrase I'm saying. He just likes to push himself and make the opponents feel as uncomfortable as possible in that front line. He's trying to find some very little tiny mistakes to try and exploit him and make it even a bigger problem to try and push the rest of the defense of EXO into a corner. But that's where Tick will then further excel in terms of the amount of damage he can do and put in place to maybe get a full team wipe rather than just take one of them and then just have that defensive strategy set up straight afterwards. But good stuff there from the side of EXO, kind of what we predicted in a few ways, but now we can see if Totem can respond better than they did in that first game.
Absolutely. So we'll see. They're going to have to get themselves involved already because the blue star's already been collected by Whitey as he tries to sneak away. Maru getting a lot of damage down, but they just don't have enough to complete it. You can see Ruff's just sidestepping out of there. Going to get the supply drop come through. Should be able to get Mari back on his feet, and it's all going to be down to those pulls, I feel. The magic hands. How's Mari got them right now? Because Sun Bentley was landing them perfectly last time, but didn't get the kill this time. Mari managed to get away.
And EXO are just all the way back. They can't go any further if they tried. Mori trying to sneak into on that left lane to get a fantastic angle. Just needs the support from Brazier and Mari. They also need to try and find that opening. YDE is way too close to Brazier, so can't really do too much. But YDE realised that, yeah, just needs to back away just a little bit more, as now Mori's going to try and see if he can find that opening in the left lane once again. But you've got to remember, EXO have actually recovered their own left lane, which means that they have to be super aware if they want to try and push up onto this.
Yeah, with 40 seconds left, they're really doing a great job at forcing Kirst and co back here. Kirst is going to try and get the flank, so he's moving up to that right lane. But Soy DeBress are in there. The Tick, they could really just definitely work them out here. Mari's going to get around the side. Sun Bentley's really low now. The damage is going through, but it hasn't quite gotten down. 20 seconds to go. There's the pull they were looking for. That makes it in their favor. Sun Bentley's going to go for this one. Kirst on the respawn, and you can see Reply Tournament just running away from this one.
Yeah, that was their plan the entire time. It's kind of like an ice cream scoop. Just try and scoop it into the corner, keep them trapped so the Tick can do a huge amount of damage overall. And there we have it. Totem managed to take that 4-1, a lot more methodical compared to the last game. But you could see that there was a few openings in that left lane that Mori was able to exploit to push him back even further. So all the pieces in the puzzle came in the end for Totem.
Yeah, perfectly played. They were just slowly falling them back. Apparently, the headset fell off for Curse there mid-game or something like that. So, I don't know whether that's just like whether he was shouting so much or what, either way. But definitely was forced back there. You can see, and the pull came in. That was Curse going down. That must have been the exact moment where he bent down to pick the headset back up.
Yeah, I can imagine that. His headset. That's a good one, Curse. That's a good one. I'd like to see your next excuse next game, mate. We'll see what happens there. But it is possible. I probably do believe him actually. But we'll see if it makes any more difference. So we'll see if his headset falls off again going into game number 3.
Not an excuse, he says. Not an excuse. It's just. Oh, it was in the start. It was in the start, so it wasn't at the end. Okay, it's just the start. So nothing too forced, but obviously, you will lose sort of that positional advantage. I wonder whether we're going to see another mirror match here because it has gone very even so far. Now's the time to bring some sort of surprise package out to try and change things out. Let's get it on your screen and have a look, see exactly what they're going to do. Changes, nothing for Reply Totem, nothing for Tell a Lie. So Bentley has changed. He's gone away from the Gene. He's gone over to the Sprout.
Certainly has indeed. Don't worry, Curse, I believe you. Don't you worry about that, as Maru now is already on the front line to push on up. But Curse, funny enough, does take down Maru and are up 3-2. But saying that, though, Brazier has made me eat my words slightly. Has gone, no, actually, we're going to regain that lead. Now up by 1 star as Bentley's trying to pull all the way back from that left lane. Curse is now going to push up with him. It's taken a bit of damage in the process, so we'll have to delay this next bout. And you can see now Curse also trying to just dwindle around a little bit just to try and survive and just wait for the rest of his teammates to push on up before he can on the back line. Maru, Mori and Brazier just sticking in the wolf pack towards the center. And you can see now that X are just trying to find a positional advantage. They're the ones who have to make the first attack and the next engagement. A minute left remaining, and Mori is already pushed all the way to the left side, has found another opening with just sadly the lack of awareness on XO, but it's also because of the fact that once one of the players taken down, that was going to create a huge opening on the map for them.
I do like the idea of the double thrower, but they're trying to, execute it and corral them effectively. That's the current plan at the moment, which is what they're trying to do. You can see the overgrowth coming through. And when they group like that, that's the danger moment. You can see YD was instantly in there with the tick trying to get the damage down, but they are still trailing. With 30 seconds to go, it's now or never. They've got to go for it.
Certainly have to, indeed. I think Brazier is going to be their main target, but considering how Tick normally plays, you will see him the furthest back. Which makes perfect sense. So, but potential team wipe may be required depending on how well they'll take these fights, how much damage they take. So this is the push coming in now with Bentley coming in the left lane. YD and Curse looks to push the right side onto Mori. Mori's actually taking a fair amount of damage, but the pull comes in. Mori takes down Curse. Surely that is going to be it, and yes, it is. As Totem managed to win the last game 9-3 and now 1-0 up in the series.
Great start. I like the thinking that XO Free Agents brought to the table. They're thinking, okay, if we can push them back, just like they just been done. That's where the double throwers, you get them squashed in this corner like that. Double throwers coming in can absolutely punish. But Mari's hooks, once again, are going off there. And somebody was caught right at the start, which put XO Free Agents on the back foot immediately.
I will say, no, XO had much better map control, a lot better aggression. In terms of positional advantage was okay, but I'm still finding Mori, finding these little spots he can sneak around and get a flank going every single time. And, you've got to really keep tabs on the man because sometimes he can be quite cheeky and get behind and get some of the damage done you don't expect.
Absolutely. So fantastic first game. Now we're going to be moving on to Hot Zone. It will be split. So we'll see how that's going to play out. We have seen a bunch of Jessies in the past that is not banned. Generally is a clash ban, so we might be seeing that in the next game. But generally has been very strong, obviously getting that turret down as the solo player, what I'm talking about here. But we'll see where this plays out. Obviously, we had some very different games yesterday. On Hot Zone, SK bringing the full brawler team out, making things work. And sometimes you can just sort of get the mental edge on your teammates. Not your teammates, your opponents. I mean, if you get the mental edge over your teammates, I'm not sure what that says for you, but if you get the mental edge over your opponents, you can catch them off guard in just maybe a one-off game, and Hot Zone is definitely where it could pay off.
It certainly could indeed. I just feel sorry a little bit for EXO in that last game. It's just they had map control. Curse had a very good start and a very good running at the very beginning as well. Getting a few of those kills and playing very well, supporting in terms of the damage he inflicted. A little bit of a shame, but I think with Hot Zone, this is where the map control will heavily go in your favour. So if it did exactly what they did, but in this next game, been great. But of course, compositions are going to be completely different. Things are going to change entirely in terms of how they're going to play this in a calculated fashion. But let's see as we're going to jump into this now. We are going to go into the second set as Totem are currently up 1-0 in the series. Still early days yet. We'll see if EXO can bring this back.
Was not expecting a Colt, that's for sure. Curse bringing the Colt out here. It is going to be relatively standard for Reply Totem with the Surge, the Ruffs, and the Stew. The Ruffs, of course, for Sudden Bentley as well. But yeah, the Colt, definitely didn't expect that one coming out. Obviously, the difference, Stew also in there and unable to really try and break through. So great work from Mari to start things off there, getting the sandbags down. Will finally get cleared out. And now's the chance for EXO free agents to take control.
Yeah, Mori knew he lost that bout straight away. As soon as the sandbags came down, he knew that was pretty much it. But Maru now is going to push up with Brazier this time around. Good teamwork and good coordination as Mori's having a little duel with Curse. Curse, sadly, he does not get away as he will take down his Colt. YDE with the Stew in the bushes directly in front of him. Brazier making the assumption he's gone all the way back on spawn, but actually it was pretty much next to him as YDE is going to try and control that right zone. Curse is coming with the Colt to try and support that if he can. A couple of missed shots, but Curse still leading the way with the range game and trying to take down range as well.
Oh, they're back and forth. 38 hit points apiece. It's Sun Bentley that comes out on top. Oh, some clutch sandbags and Soy Depressor as well. A mega battle on the left-hand side, and Sun Bentley will come out on top, and I think that's just won EXO free agents this game. It absolutely has. They're going to lock out the right and left. What a clutch performance from Sun Bentley there on 38 hit points, taking down both players. Incredible.
Typical. I was keeping a really close eye on the right-hand side with YD and Curse trying to keep him at bay whilst trying to control the zone at the same time. I actually completely missed that engagement, and as soon as I saw it, they managed to take down another straight after.
Just look at the duel. Look at this duel.
Low HP. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that.
Here goes, look, 38-38, so he comes out on top, and then Soy Depressor goes in, he's like, panic, quick, slows down the sandbags, instant style, and gets him. So clutch performance, some mega reaction skills coming out there from Sun Bentley.
That was clutch. Like, I'm not going to lie. I think it was literally, 0.1 of a second when he jumped in with the Surge as well to actually put that sandbag down. Of course, the sandbag had enough HP to it to help him recover. That was ridiculous. You were on the money there. It's a shame I just missed it by the smallest margins when I was concentrating on the right lane. But going to keep my eyes on Bentley now. It just shows his individual talent ever so slightly, and look forward to see a lot more of it as now Bentley's going to be going to that left zone against Maru in a kind of dual fashion. Kind of similar as last time. Bentley doesn't get the better of that engagement, but as I say that though, he does take a lot more HP off in the end with Maru left on 420 HP.
I like the thinking there. The wall break comes in. That opens things up though. You can see Soy Depressor trying to get around the backside, but I'm not too sure if that's benefited Reply Totem at all here. Curse is going to get in their faces, and with that map being now wide open, it's perfect for the range shots of the likes of Colt, who will just back up Sun Bentley here and work well. But they're being pressured away. They picked up 50% already, though. That's a good start.
That's a fantastic start indeed. EXO are up by 10%, but you've got to remember, the Totem's got both those zones, and they're already going straight past them here. They're just planning their next attack as Curse is just trying to do a bit of damage for Bentley to then pushing straight afterwards. Good shots there from Curse once again, but YD does take down Brazier. YD's going to give Curse a little bit of a helping hand. And again, I like what Curse is doing, just constantly keeping his distance. But at the same time, he does have a few missed shots here and there just due to how far away those projectiles are being, but still doing a huge amount of work, almost taking down Mori. Doesn't finish him off as Brazier finally comes in, takes down Curse, and then Bentley will get the trade on Brazier straight afterwards.
Yeah, not enough though. It will be Totem closing out this one. So we're tied one apiece once again. This game looks to be going the distance, doesn't it? See whether Reply Totem can turn it around and even up the series. One apiece in sets at the moment. EXO free agents winning that first one over on Dry Season for Bounty. So will we see any changes? I mean, both teams sticking with the tried and tested in that game. Very different game though for EXO free agents.
I must say, individually, Bentley is actually pretty good. Like, it's a little bit of an aim style. He always makes the right choice at the right time. Time's a bit of an understatement compared to what we saw in that first game, like you mentioned with the sandbags. But yeah, I've been very impressed so far. I've been interested to see how much of an impact and what he can actually bring to the table for EXO, considering after Yoshi's departure. But he seems to be doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly playing very well. Now, will we see the changes, as I mentioned? Obviously, the Surge has been in there as well, and obviously with the big wall break coming through. Remember, Primo banned out. Just to remind you guys, Primo, Bell, Poco, all banned out. So lots of options available for them here. Try and put the pressure on them. Maybe one of those strong brawlers to try and take control of the hot zone. I'm very interested to see how this Colt's been stuck with by Kirst. He's certainly making it work, rocking it. But I wonder if we're going to see a change now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I don't feel like he's playing bad with playing bad with Colt at all, because I think the first game was a bit iffy, but the second game he was hitting a lot more of his shots. He was supporting very well. I think his position is perfectly fine. It's just getting those projectiles timed right in order to try and get a lot more damage across the board, which he did do in that second game a lot better in comparison. Just didn't get the W in the end, which is, I know it sounds a little bit strange considering they did win that first game. But yeah, from what he's doing, he seems perfectly fine. I wouldn't be surprised if he did stuck with the Colt, but we'll find out. Don't be surprised if we do see a composition change to try and swing the favour in any way, shape or form, or of course, in the mind games being played, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise in the slightest either. So we do see a Rico as well, and even with Kurz, he actually has switched up from the Colt, which you were definitely correct on, Liam, and he's actually switched to the Barley now.
Yeah, so he has changed it across there, going with that throw up, keeping the pressure on, but also the Rico coming out from Maru here as well. So feeling the need for that change. And there is a Surge as well. So a couple of changes from both teams. We'll see how it pays off at the moment. Both holding their respective sides. Some Bentley taking Soydebressa down on that left-hand side once again, though. Now's the time. They're trying to find a moment to try and get in, but Maru is just absolutely keeping the pin. Whitey goes for it, comes in. Mari goes down, goes aggressive. Can he come out on top against Maru? The Barley comes in. Curse lands it, but Soydebressa is back in place.
Oh, that was pretty tight, but you got to remember though, Totem are not too far behind, only down by a 6% deficit as Braze and Mori just trying to hold to that right-hand side. Maru now is going to try and do his best to contest that left zone with the Rico, but it seems like Kurt's doing a good job just making sure they stay out of that zone, but also just piling on that pressure while staying out of range. But Bentley's still able to save his life on 548 HP on the other side. Mori does take down YDE, but he's got to be careful though. He's trying to push right up on his right lane, which is great because he's wasting a lot of time, but EXO are just not falling for it. Just continue to push him back. Mori takes down Bentley. Kurst takes down Brazier in the meantime, but Kurz is also trying to keep Maru back here, which he actually is doing a fantastic job of it, and now up by 20%.
Whitey's been doing a fantastic job of jumping over and getting in their faces, keeping a hold of it. Some Bentley finally down, so Reply Totem in control at the moment. The respawn's coming back through. Kurz landing himself a nice couple of beer balls straight onto the head there. Whitey will get picked off instantly though. Sun Bentley back in place, and I really like the switch that they've gone with here. Getting Soydebressa over on the right-hand side on the defensive side. Seems to be working out. Reply Totem 2v1 in that left side. Whitey will come back in, but he can't hold it, and the bouncing shots from Soydebressa are causing him real problems, and Totem are now in control.
It certainly are indeed. As Brazier takes down Bentley, this could be it. They have the numbers advantage here, and they keep the respawns completely, in terms of the death cycle, keep them really separated. That could be it. They won't have the numbers advantage at all for the rest of his game. It's on 93%. Maru takes down Kurz. It's going to be a massive leadway. Bentley is way too weak to engage. He's going to push it anyway, but it doesn't matter, which is a little bit of a shame, as Totem do win another set added to the scoreboard. 2-0 now in the series. But Bentley did such a good job just playing for his life throughout the entire course of that last bout, but it just wasn't enough.
I tell you what, I thought Sun Bentley was about to do it again.
I know.
There for a moment. The way he was pushing through, I think another second and he would have cleared out that zone on the left and maybe forced them down, but it's not to be. Reply Totem, though, will close out the set, and that takes it to a 2-0. It's going to be down to a reverse sweep chance here for EXO free agents. They've got a lot of work to do as we move on to the next one. And of course, that will be Heist. It's going to be Hot Potato. And this is going to be some real pressure for EXO free agents in, honestly, what is one of two hard games today. They're playing Clash after this. This is not how they dreamed about starting the day, especially after taking out SK Gaming yesterday and Big.
Well, this is it. It's definitely not impossible, even though both these teams are very similar in terms of skill stature. Like, look at SK and Clash yesterday. SK did a fantastic reverse sweep in the end, you know, considering they managed to solidify that series win. And there's no reason why EXO can't do it either. I don't think they've been playing bad at all in the slightest. It's just some little things here and there just haven't gone their way. And once again, every second has been decisive, and it's just very tiny mistakes. They've just got to keep a very close eye on a couple of players here and there and have a little bit more map awareness, because we've seen it before where Mori and Maru, both of those two players are very cheeky sometimes and also very sneaky with on their whereabouts and what they plan to do, because the worst thing is they're very aggressive on how they approach the map. But at the same time, they do it on the sly quite often, and it's very difficult to keep tabs on them sometimes. And that's what makes them, you know, such great players. And added to this, of course, with Brazier, he's pretty much a hoover, cleaning up some of those kills on quite a lot of the occasions. But let's see if EXO can respond with something big here.
So the double Ruffs and double Barley, the difference being the Colette and Rico in the mid at the moment. And wow, Curse just absolutely spaffing that one in the end. It comes through, just completely takes dominant control. And that's buying time for Sunbelly just to get a couple of shots through onto that safe. Now he's forced back away on that right lane. Meanwhile, Whitey and Maori having a great old Barley battle on the left.
Certainly is indeed, as Brazier's going to take a little bit of damage there. Maru has to pull back just ever so slightly, but the main thing is the fact that Brazier was able to jump in and do 13% to that save. So one more super will give a little bit more leadway, but then again, who needs it? It's already down to 77%, now a 6% deficit, so it's going to be EXO who need to try and figure out a way to force out the situation and push on up. But the amount of time left on the board, we're definitely going to see that at some point, but not with YDE getting taken down there in the right lane against Brazier. Curse has taken a little bit of damage into the center, but now things are looking very good for Totem.
Absolutely. Sun Bentley tried to get the switch, tried to change the lane round, but Maru has come to match him once again. So the Ruff's over on the left and now the Barley's on the right. Meanwhile, the same old duel happens. And I got to be honest, Soda Bresser's not getting anything at all from this game right now, and that's only going to make it even worse for him now as his cover gets slid away. Or maybe it'll work out in his favor, I don't know, because obviously Rico for Curse was doing a great job at bouncing those shells all the way through the grass, and now Soderbress has been given a little bit of freedom.
Certainly indeed, but that's two members down for Totem. This is going to be EXO's opportunity now to do a huge amount of damage on the safe. Maybe as much as they can, but it looks like they've done plenty here. And that's exactly what they needed to give them a little bit of leadway in this matchup. But we know what Totem are like. They're very, very good on the retaliation after that kind of engagement, as Curse is just trying to stay alive in the center.
They've got to go.
Just missed one of those damage points here, but 15 seconds left here, D-Man.
No, not going to happen. Maru gets taken down. Whitey's gone around the back already, so Maru can't do anything about this. There's the super going down, and it's going to be EXO Free Agents closing out the first game here on Heist.
Yeah, definitely not what we expected leading up to the very end, but good retaliation there from EXO to respond to a lot of the push you just saw there from Mori, and especially, you know, with some of the collect plays as well. You can see what their plan of action was, but Totem were just having none of it. They just knew they had to keep on the aggressive the entire time, considering the composition they're working with here. YDE got caught with his trousers down a couple of times in that right lane, but made up for it massively with the amount of damage he did, not just on the safe, but just keeping the opponents back of Totem.
And for me, that was all about Cursed. Cursed absolutely bossed the mid there, and not a lot that the Colette could do. So I do wonder whether we're going to see the Colette change here. Colette is kind of a staple diet on Heist, in fairness, because that super can be so strong getting onto the safe. But I just wonder, maybe we're going to probably get the Barley change in there. We'll see whether that's maybe going to be a thing. I wonder. Definitely going to be an interesting one. The double Barley, as you say, it was a bit of a stalemate more than anything. He didn't gain anything, but he didn't lose anything either.
No, he certainly didn't know. I'm just hoping that Totem can continue this now. At least they've not taken them to a point where Totem are on match point and they're things are looking pretty bleak here and there. But that looked much better from EXO. Like I said, they've not played bad at all in this series. Just very little mistakes are costing them. A little bit more map awareness on a couple of players on Totem will just absolutely do itself justice. And now YD is actually played a little bit more diverse compared to last time. Still stick with the Barney, but he's also at the same time just making sure he keeps switching up the lanes here. But Mario does get taken down by Bentley, and Bentley gets traded off by Brazier.
I like the change there. Soyderbreast is going to try and close in YDE, though. They know he's in the corner. Soyderbreast should be able to close him down relatively easy, and he'll do just that. But Kirst has just gone straight down the middle, ripping on. This is going to be a base race at the moment. You can see it's working badly, though, for Replay Totem. Now you can see they're just going to come back. Kirst comes back in again, gets the Maru down, and now once again takes control. And that Sprout usage, I love it. I love it. Just lock up the mid instead this time. Well aware of the change. Maru tries to jump in once again, getting as much damage down, and he's making it work so well. Now the Colette's through as well for Soyderbreast, and this is looking great suddenly. It is going to be a trade back and forward as YDE and Maru go for it, but back at the top side, finally Kirst is back on his feet, and we'll get the kill in.
Oh, this is ridiculous. That was almost a
it's so tight,
potential
30-30.
base trade here as well. Exactly. It's like EXO are up by 5%, but this isn't going to stop here, D-Man, at all. This is going to be outright aggression here. Both of them are trying to go for the trade. It just depends on who has enough DPS to push on forward, but you can see Totem down to 17%. They can't let any more damage occur onto this, and they need at least a team wipe in order to take out his opponent. Safe down to 1%. Will he be able to do it? Yes, he does. And the EXO do get the first set on the board to give a bit of leadway in the next couple of sets.
Well, here we go. Is this the turnaround? So close. The barley ticked the damage, the burn, everything was working out well. And they just still, while I love the changes they had, still didn't really have an answer to Kirst's Rico, who kind of continued to boss it despite the damage that Maru was doing, jumping on that back line and really causing them problems, causing obviously problems for the throwers. The throwers continue to still have that same fight that was going on there, but you can see Sun Bentley continuing to be a nuisance in the backside, but a much closer game this time around. But it doesn't matter. EXO free agents pick themselves up hot potato. We're moving on to some assembly required Siege. We've been here many times before, and I'm very interested to see if this is the beginning of a reverse sweep.
I think it could be, just due to the fact that we saw EXO yesterday. Didn't they take SK Gaming down on one of their best modes? And I think afterwards as well, in their following series, they were dominating in Siege. Again, not matter what map it is. So Totem were probably hoping just to make this a clean sweep, just end it now before things get out of hand. And I think it will do. We'd be surprised if EXO had a huge advantage coming into this.
I think SK still won that bot drop game on Siege, so they did still win it, even with Pedro in there. You know, you don't mess with SK when it comes to Siege mode. That's for sure. They definitely have something special figured out there. But yes, I'm very interested to see what we're going to get. Okay, so what realistically could we have? Obviously, we got Primo band out there as well as the Bell and the Poco. So take them off the cards, because Primo has been a thing on some assembly required a couple of times, but so has Frank. Frank has definitely played a part in here a couple of times, but with Poco taken out, we'll see. I actually think the way that Kirst just played the Rico may just come back out again here.
Yeah, it's difficult to say the least. We haven't really seen much Frank in terms of, like, you know, recent play days. And at one point we saw him like a huge amount, loads, but now it's just on the old rare occasion here and there. But you're right, though. Yeah. Like, if we did see him here, that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
I mean, it'll be the double sprout, right? The double sprout's almost, I think that's just like everybody's expecting that. That's kind of like a thing that goes with it. It's Siege mode. You've got to get something in there. If not sprout, a Lou, just basically to either lock out, freeze, or, you know, overgrowth, whatever you want to do, just basically to force that bot in a different direction. Gene, also a possibility, don't forget, because obviously you can pull the bot out the way, which is also another way of maybe doing it here. So that's a strong possibility as well.
Yeah, it's the good thing with Jean as well, that she can be used in almost any composition, really, like in any mode, depending on like what your plans are with what you want to do going forward. But let's have a look now, as we are going to go into the fourth set now between Totem and EXO. And we have seen Carl quite a few times here and there. We do see a Stu as well, which is not really too surprising either. Do see a Barley as well as the Jean, and so yeah, we've seen quite a few. But we are going to find out exactly who's going to get this Bolt lead, but who's going to do it. They might even force it just to a tie, and it looks like they will be having level 2 Siege bot for Totem here, and that's going to see the early defense from EXO.
Yeah, it's only a level 2 though, so not really going to get a great deal from this one. YD should be able to slow this one down. You can see immediately going to go in and just face tank that one and just take one for the team effectively, not losing out on too many bolts either because the bolt spawn zone is just coming through. Now, how can they push out here? Kirsten's going to be the one that should try and flank around. He's going to get himself some clean shots on Tamari here. Should be able to take him down, although it's pinned against the wall. And Mario will come out on top.
Yeah, great stuff here from Totem. That first bot, of course, isn't really an indicator to try and get as much damage done as possible. It's just them to give a map control and positional advantage. But let's have a look so far as already 7 bolts go in the hands of Totem. Looking to increase that even further if they can. Mario trying to stay alive. Brazer's going to be pushing into that left lane, but not too aggressively. Waiting to see what Bentley and YD are going to do. But the bot is now going to be coming towards X, so they're going to try and defend it the best of their ability. They should be able to defend this just fine, but may take a huge amount of damage in the process. But look at this, though. All 3 members of Totem are literally just diving on it here. Only down to 15%. This should be it, and there we have it. I wasn't really too sure if they were going to jump it or not, but considering the level of that siege bot, do you know what? Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Loving the Jackie as well, coming out there, really working well, obviously dominating the Stew on the right-hand side there. So, yeah, full marks to reply Totem, taking it to match point once again here. And it was such a strong, dominant start. They really read the picks well.
Yeah, they certainly did indeed. That was a great composition for Totem to work with against EXO, which is a little bit of a shame. So we'll see a composition change from EXO. But will we, though? It depends if Totem actually stick with the exact same one. That's, the another question which will be answered momentarily. But I think at the moment, Totem are going to be very, very pleased about that. And finally, we actually get to see their first match point.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see whether they can close this one out. Obviously, it really read the situation well with the counters there. So obviously, we were talking about the fact that, really, I got to be honest, for me, Siege is kind of becoming one of my favorite modes because in terms of meta picks, it really is wide open. Obviously, if we go to certain to sort of heist, we kind of know what we're going to get. If we go to bounty, we kind of know what we're going to get. Same with the gem grab, you kind of got an idea of what the team comp's going to be. But certainly for me at the Siege is the one that's like the most open. People are bringing all sorts of wacky picks out there, even the throwers, brawlers, etc. All sorts of picks are on the table. Let's see what they're going to change it to. We are going to see the Rico once again. The Carl stays, the Jackie stays, and actually Reply Totem stay exactly as were. But we'll see whether this counter works with the Surge.
Because then you just said that you actually really like City is one of your favourites. You can tell that D-Man's probably wearing an SK Gaming jersey underneath his jumpers. So make sure you keep an eye on that.
They are Cologne-based, SK Gaming. So, I'll just go see Alex over the road. I would say SK's main point is like 15-minute walk from me right now, but someone that is getting a good walk here is the Siege bot. EXO free agents are up against a match point here, and they are delivering. What is this for a first bot? 32%. That is brilliant.
Okay, normally most teams do it for the map control, but it looks like they've actually done some heavy damage, like you rightly said, and one more bot could do it here. Let's see what Totem can do to prove themselves, but YD is having absolutely none of it. Takes down Mori, does get traded by Brazer, and Bentley will get the trade on Brazer straight afterwards. But Maru is so weak, and will he be able to stay alive to try and keep him off the rest of his bolts? It doesn't look it, but it seems like Totem will win this next spot, but you got to remember, you've got a little bit of a recovery process here. EXO do have that 3 bolt or 4 bolt advantage, you could say, going into the last one, but at the same time, they know that EXO at some point will be jumping with that bot later on. But Mori has taken down Curse whilst the bot still going towards north on the side of EXO. But it looks like the defense has been very, very good, and if EXO win this next one, that's going to be game.
Yeah, and don't forget, they've got that bolt advantage already. I do feel the Reply Totem maybe missed a beat here, sticking with the same comp that tried and tested. Maybe because it works so well, they were just thinking they were in a dominant control. Jackie will get taken down on the right-hand side. That's Mari. But they are starting to get the bolts. They've tied it up now. They're going to get the advantage here. 10 seconds to go. Bentley has to win this duel, and he does. Curse will pick up that one, but he can see 8-6. Is it going to be enough? The bolt's going back. 8-7, not enough. It will be Reply Totem with the final bot.
The main thing is these guys have cushioned the blows, so let's see how well they can try and defend this if they can. Already more than half the damage has been taken, but if they have enough ammunition to put it back, it should be okay, and yes, it will be.
Absolutely nothing.
Totem only on 32%. EXO are going to be quite happy with this, but it does mean we are going to go to a third game of this set, and Totem have another match point.
Yeah, absolutely solid defensive work from EXO free agents. I feel that Reply Tournament, and this is, no shade on Reply Tournament at all, but this is like the smallest differences, obviously in terms of player skills as well, that's there. But the differences between the likes of Clash and SK is their adaptability. Reply Tournament just stuck with the exact same comp. Just thought, you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, for EXO Free Agents, they said, yeah, well, okay. If they do bring the same out, we're going to counter it. We know what they're going to be up against, and it will work out well. And they absolutely dominated that game. From a level 1, the first bot, which I think was a level 2 bot, if I'm not mistaken, absolutely dominated that. And Reply Tournament should be a bit more forward thinking with their choices, and thinking like the mind games is really a big part of this game, more than the actual just the skill with the thumbs.
Certainly is indeed, and rightly what you said about the composition of EXO, much better, but their defense was clean in comparison to last time round. Like, it was really, really good, and I expected, don't get me wrong, I think Tottenham did a great job just cushioning the blow, making sure in terms of the bolt advantage, when things didn't get out of hand, they didn't have to do a level 12 or 13 siege bolt, level 12 or 13 siege bot, but even then, their defense was amazing and a lot better than I originally anticipated. But this is going to be another match point for Tottenham here, but you never know, the way EXO are playing, especially in their recent form, they could take us to a set 5.
Yeah, well, this time the Jackie coming out for EXO, so we'll see whether that counter plays off. Mari on the Jean, the double Barleys, as well as the Carl for Whitey and the Colette for Soy de Bressa, trying to get in their faces. And again, it is going to be EXO Free Agents with that first bot out, but they aren't going to have quite as much backup here. Curse, I think, was expecting something different. Is going to go with that Jackie, so we'll see. Just going to be a small amount of damage. They do manage to get a couple of kills down. I say a small amount of damage because this has not been defended well. 25-6%. What in the world was that?
Oh my God, yeah, I was just watching the percentage dwindle. I can't believe how much they were doing with that first spot. And I said it before, EXO yesterday played really well on Siege. Okay, yeah, we know SK had Pedro, but it was another team as well on one of the final matches of the day where we saw EXO just being incredible at this game mode in particular. But Bentley and Curse now trying to push on up. Brazer in with the rest of the pack as well. Maury's going to be joining to try and support him, but they're trying to bait and switch. They have managed to switch in the end, but they do have a level 7 siege bot heading towards EXO. Let's see how well they can defend this, because 2 of their players are actually on respawn, and they could jump this as well. Not a huge amount in terms of jumping it, but just try and add a little bit more in terms of the damage output onto it. But still though, 35%, this next siege bot is going to change everything between both teams.
Yeah, and 20 seconds to get 3 bolts at the moment. Make that 4 or 5, 6, because already you're seeing Reply Totem collecting quite a few here. And even at 6%, I think what they're going to do is just try and go for it. Just try and get the super off onto it, try and get the damage down. They want to buy time for some Bentley. That's the super down. Is it going to be enough damage to tick, tick, boom? Gets it down. And EXO Free Agents will take the set and even things up 2-2.
I thought to myself, at some point that Barney's going to slide in somewhere. He finished up the damage, and he did, so you didn't even need to fight anyway. And I think they realised that as well. It's like, well, do you want to go for bolts and increase the lead so much that it's almost guaranteed? Or that's the thing, though, that map is very, very wide as well. It's very, very easy to kind of slide past them, and Totem getting a little bit of their own medicine now, where, Mori and Mari, one of them would always find an open, especially Mori as well. Like, in particular, you find these little openings to exploit. But, with this map being so wide, it made life a lot easier for EXO to go on forward and Bentley to finish it up.
I love the little, the Carl super from Whitey just spinning in there to fully distract as best as he could there. So, wow, okay, let's move on. Sneaky Fields is the final set of the series for Brawl Ball. I love the fact we are going the distance in these. I know while it does take the show really long, I love the competitiveness of these teams. Reply Totem obviously coming off the back of that 3-0 over Tribe into a really strong position. Had a couple of match points and just not been able to close it out here against EXO Free Agents, who are looking for that reverse sweep and honestly are looking good for it now.
I need to stop being surprised with EXO. They did it against Tribe, didn't they, in one of the first play days, and now they're just doing it again. And it's not like they're doing it against Na'Vi or Noble Elite or any other teams. They're doing it against the top slammers here, like in terms of Tribe and Totem. It's remarkable, really. It seems like they're very slow to begin with, and eventually they're able to pick things up after they get warmed up in the series. But it's like I said before, many a times they not played bad at all, just very tiny mistakes along the way, and it's slowly getting rectified, and now we're up to a 5th and final set. I should not be surprised, but I am.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what they're going to bring to the table this time around in Sneaky Fields. We haven't seen a B yet today, which is a possibility. I think the Gene is almost a slam dunk. I think we're probably going to see a Gene in there. And what else could go with it? Possibly a Crow. We could see a Crow maybe coming out there. Or will they completely flip the script, go with their bruiser, set up, come diving in like we've seen work successfully? This is probably the time to try something in the first game, not on match point.
And not take it to overtime if you don't have the range with that baller. We'll have to see. It's a lot of things to take into consideration if they're either going to play it safe or risk it. I feel like for Totem, they can't risk it, but EXO can due to the position they are in the standings. They don't have as much to lose compared to Totem, like we already mentioned before this series even began. So if we see it from EXO, wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't really want to see it from Totem.
Remember what Totem brought out, though. If you do remember against...
That's true, yeah.
They had the Bull in there. They had did they have the Mortis? I'm not too sure. Instead, it's going to be a Nita. There is the B as well, as expected, and the M's, of course, and the Gene as well on the other side for Bentley.
We are going to start with a stalemate here. Let's see who's going to get the first advantage in this game. If you're just joining us, it is a best of 5. It is 2-all between Totem and EXO as we are heading to the first game of this final set. And Bentley gets that first initial kill in for Mori to give him a little bit of time now to try and get that positional advantage. And Bentley gets another.
Nice pull coming in there. They get Soy de Bressa down as well. So at the moment, only 1 up for Reply Totem, but they're not going to go full aggressive on this one. Whitey are taking quite a bit of damage from Mari on the respawn, which meant they weren't able to force the issue. But in terms of supers, Kirst should be ready to go shortly. He's landed quite a bit of damage. Maru also around the side there, but Sun Bentley taking a couple of hits from Mari. There is the Bruce Bear. That's going to cause some problems both sides. It forces Whitey to push up. Soy de Bressa escapes with next to nothing.
It's a very, very methodical game, this, but I've noticed EXO had some slight advantages in terms of positional advantage after that first kill, and Totem's still on the back foot, and they haven't been able to find any openings. Bentley, again, with another pull, getting another kill to his name, and Mori and Brazier now have to wait on the back foot. Curse, you can see he's tempted to go round onto that left side, just making sure to put him in from a bad to worse spot.
He's got him pinned in the corner, I can't do anything.
Well, and will he be able to do it? No, he will not, as he does manage to stay alive here, D-Man.
Yeah, he knew he had enough to just regen through it. He knew it wasn't going to be enough damage. That's just knowledge of the brawlers to know exactly how that super's going to work and whether it's going to be enough to take him down. Mari does go down. The pass from YD. Oh, no. There's the pull. It opens the goal right up. The Bruce Bear comes out, and the ball will go over the line with just 33 seconds remaining in this game. EXO free agents looking for match point.
Yeah, that was incredible from EXO. I didn't feel like once in that engagement at all in the slightest things got out of control, but this is where it could do. It's already gone all the way back onto that line, and that's going to be surely an easy goal. Yes, it is, as Mori brings it back to tie things up.
Oh, it's like watching Raheem Sterling go through the middle there, just absolutely dazzling the EXO free agents players. Now in overtime, it is wide open. Now the Bruce Bear was just used a moment ago. Oh, the grab missed there from Sun Bentley. So that's just going to be a big problem for them. Looking for that super shot. Sun Bentley will protect it. Get into the corner. The Bruce Bear comes out. Bentley has to dodge all this damage coming through. Curse having to face down. Get on the line. He can't take too much. Now the shot comes in over the line. And just like maybe tomorrow, who knows, Italy take the lead.
How strange. I just felt like EXO were it just looked really good, like a very well calculated approach, and I felt like things never got out of hand and things never went out of line in the slightest. And then Totem scores 2 goals in like 30 seconds and just literally doesn't muck around. As soon as they're on full aggro mode, it's very, very hard to control against them. And you can see there, look how quickly they got pushed back. They planned that down to a T and then managed to tie things up. And then, of course, their composition worked in their favour towards the end to score that last one. So, third match point now for Totem.
Yeah, now, can they close it out? Because, you know, let's face it, they're 1-0 down, and a really good response came out there. When they were under the pressure, that's when they delivered. So, whoa, what sort of change are we going to have? Now, obviously, they didn't have the Genius time around. They had the B instead, so maybe they'll think about changing that, because Sun Bentley... I mean, I hate to point it out, but, you know, when it went to overtime, that's when he missed. He missed the magic hand. He hit him every time, all the way throughout. And when it came to the clutch moment, he missed it this time around, as opposed to when he was obviously on roughs on hot zone when he pulled out to that mega play. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks when that happens. So maybe from that perspective, and what we've seen from Reply Totem in the past is they tend to stick with what works. So I'd be interested to see if they even change anything.
They just got to control the aggression the best they can, and I'm talking about XO, because the way Totem played the last like 45 seconds, they're like a pack of Rottweilers, literally just been super aggro and just couldn't really control it. Things just got out of hand, and you know they couldn't really do anything to counter, and it was very, very difficult. It's weird how Totem just managed to turn that around, even get away with that. Bentley already with that first kill with the Barley, and a replica opening, but will it be a replica scoreline?
Well, they've changed around though. So Kirst is now on the Gene instead, and Sun Bentley switched over to the Barley because Sun Bentley was playing the Gene in the previous game. So they've just brought that Barley out. Soy Debressa got away with it. YDE on the M's as well. So they've done away with Anita, and now they're going to start with the pressure. They're 3, and honestly, I like this change because, you know, throwers work well, and a Barley on this map can be lethal. Look at this. They're setting up for it already, looking for the shot through. The super shot not going to happen. Oh, it does. I thought it actually had been blocked out by Maru, but no, it snuck past.
Yeah, the pull coming in, and that was beautiful stuff there for Kirst to finish that off nicely. Good objective efficiency. But look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Totem just on the get-go, just being super aggressive instead. They just get fed up, and when on the back foot, they just instantly turn into this beast mode on. Brazier takes down Kirst. Bentley trying to survive for dear life here, trying to do what he can to keep them back, and he does recover. So at least he can kick the ball away into somewhere where it can delay a little bit more time for the rest of his teammates to then rejoin with the rest of the pack. But they're both sandwiched in between each other as Maury going to push him from the right-hand side. But then again, Maury does take down Bentley. Kirst gets to trade. Kirst is actually so weak, and YDE just making sure to stay alive here. So things are looking okay so far, but Totem, the aggressive approach here is finally under control by XO.
Yeah, their ultra aggression almost paid off. Kirst finally getting Soy Debressa down, so giving them the advantage, and now they can start play that ball out of their corner. At the moment, they're just being defensive because, you know what, why not? You're 1-0 up at the moment. They don't need to go searching for this. The Bruce Bear comes down, so that's going to be that super pretty much wasted there, just buying time for Mari to get back and get some reload on. Soy Debressa now coming in. There's going to be Whitey using that ulti, and it's going to work out. Manages to get Soy Debressa down. And that's going to buy them yet more time. 22 seconds on the clock. Mari gets away with 50 hit points.
Oh, that was dirty. Good stuff from Mari to predict that shot from the Barley. And now, how is it going to happen? 10 seconds left. This has to be done now. YDE does need to be cleaned up. Mari takes down one, but Bentley gets to trade, and Maury does take down another. But it's way too little too late. Nice little risk, but it don't matter. It does not matter. EXO do take it, and now Totem... Fourth match point now, Totem, and now EXO will be on their first.
Well, if ever there was a game going to go the distance, we knew this one was it. For EXO free agents, they have fought their way back to a potential reverse sweep opportunity here. You know, they're playing Clash next, guys. We should just point that out.
Yeah.
But my God, they are being run through the ringer here by Reply Totem. A really exciting game. And look at the cheeky smile from Kirsten here. The Bruce Bear swiping away. Mari with a shot. Nope. Gets a hold of it. Cheeky grin from Kirst. And he holds off defensive work coming out well as we go to the final game.
Yeah, Curse was very patient. He had no reason to push up, and why should he? You know, it's just literally just stand your ground, and there's a very good chance you better stop it in line. Literally as simple as that. So, fourth match point now for Totem, a first or second now for EXO. EXO just been looking absolutely phenomenal, and I said it before the second game. I said that they need to somehow control this ultra aggression, like you rightly said as well, coming from Totem after that first goal, because they struggled to keep it under control, but this time round they did. They stuck as a Wolfpack, prioritised some of those kills, and this is why Totem and EXO, a lot of people were probably predicting, normally see them as one of the top 4. So now we'll go to the final game, final set, how we should do.
Big changes. So Curse back on the Nita this time, but the Rosa and the Carl coming out from Reply Totem. I like it. I actually like it. But then again, the Ems should be able to counter it a little bit here for Whitey. We'll see how this one works. Obviously, Sunbent is also going to be looking for those big grabs. As I say that, Mari gets a hold of him by the scruff of his neck, pulls him back in there. And now with a bit of wall broken away on that left side, the pressure is on EXO. They don't want to get forced behind this defensive barrier.
They certainly do not, as Mori in that left side.